Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we talk outdoors every Saturday, and this being the last Saturday of May, the fourth Saturday of May, means it is Ron Wong, bonus Wong as we call it, as he appears for the second time in 1 month, and we actually get him in studio. He's not on the road again for a rare opportunity.
And I probably should be, but I'm not.
No, he's not. But I know I've got his schedule, and I try to keep up with it so I can make sure I say my prayers for Ron as he's traveling. Because, and of course, Bill Cooksy's with us, but he's not in the studio. But he's out at the Memphis Sports Shooting Range out where you can't hardly get there off Old Brownsville. You can't get there from here. But Bill is part of the coaching staff at Bartlett High School's trap shooting team, and so he's got some practice going on. But we were talking there, trying to get Steve McCadams, but I know he's on the water today. Let's get back to our conversation that Ron was bringing up there about Kentucky Lake. And, Bill, if anybody knows it, you have had a spot up there for how long?
Well, the 20 years I've been married to my wife.
Okay.
And, of course, grew up. I'm from Jackson, Tennessee. I grew up fishing
yes.
on Kentucky Lake from Paris down to Perryville.
Well, we're not going to get into what happened at the meeting Thursday night at Paris, other than we're going to hook up on that next week's show. We're going to have some people on with us to talk more about that. I don't want to speculate and the repercussions of that.
One of the highlights, though, that I will make mention of the meeting.
Yeah.
The TWRA received a federal subsidy where they're now going to be able to increase to the commercial fishermen from their current 13 cents a pound for harvesting the Asian carp.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to provide a 7 cent per pound subsidy, so that'll increase the amount that's paid to the commercial fishermen to 20 cents a pound. That's huge. That's huge. Really huge. Yeah. That's going to help out.
That will help out a lot, and
that's one of the great things that was announced.
Well, let me ask both of you guys. I know Ron is up there a lot, and Bill has a place up there. Bill, from your perspective, and you've grown up in that lake and things like that, we had some great comments recently from Mark Menendez about his feelings about that. And the Asian carp is something I know you never thought that you'd see in your lifetime.
No, I mean, heck, when they first showed up, in the Mississippi River,
it was fun. It was funny.
The first time you ran through them, you thought, these are cool.
Yeah.
And then you realize they're going to be everywhere. And, Kentucky Lake, and I'm sure Ron will verify this, is really facing a multitude of problems for our game fish. And the carp are the most visible. They're the new thing, and they're awful. And I tell you, I can take you and show you my side image, and we can just ride around. And most people only see the jumping carp, the silvers.
Yeah.
And I see the shoals of big heads and those others, and I'm talking shoals of fish, not just a little school. Yeah. But aside from the Asian carp, we lost several spawning seasons for both bass and crappie due to water levels and how much that was necessary, I don't know. But when you drop water below the beds, the bed just died.
Yes.
Well, Bill, you mentioned all that, and you're absolutely right. There's really three things that are going on with Kentucky Lake that is causing what's happening now, and hopefully in time Mother Nature will correct it. One is obviously, like you said, that it's receiving the most press now, and is the Asian carp.
For good reason.
Number two,
that's a good reason.
Number two is the lack of grass. The grass being wiped out 2 years ago and hasn't come back, won't come back this year. And three, probably just as important as any of the other two, is the acidity level of the water. Tests were just completed here a week and a half ago now, throughout the lake. Currently, it's measuring at 8.0 alkaline parts per per million.
Okay, so what does that mean for us?
Okay, what does that mean is normally for fry to survive, it should be about 1.2 to 1.7 parts per million. It means that the water is very acidic, and that's not good for fry.
Well, let's talk about number 2 first for the first person out there, the grass situation.
For
Bill,
grass?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
That's somewhat related to the issue we've had with losing spawns. When you get, for the most part, as I understand the science behind it, when you get spring floods and the water gets dirty at just the time that grass needs to take root and pop and grow, it smothers it and kills it.
Yeah.
And then there's not enough season left for that grass to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had a couple of years now with really no grass. I mean, if you found a 20-foot stretch of just native grass up and down a bank, you were throwing something at it because you didn't see it.
So how important is grass for the layman driving down the road right now?
Okay.
Yeah.
He's saying, the two biggest things to me, it gives the fry a place to hide.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, it's security for fry, and it's security for the predator fish, the bigger bass. They hide in it and go after, bait fish and frogs and birds and anything else they can get to.
Not only does it provide a place for them to hide.
What else?
Absolutely, but it also provides nutrients for the fry, and especially the shad. You don't see very many pods of shad in Kentucky Lake anymore because they have no place to grow and to have a spawn and to be able to survive. The grass provides the nutrients for all of your game fish fry and your forage fry.
And everybody's saying now Kentucky Lake. We mean from where to where?
Kentucky Dam all the way to Pickwick.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. They look at Pickwick and say, "Oh, that's Pickwick down there." I mean, Kentucky Lake actually starts at that dam.
At Pickwick Dam.
Yeah.
And that's right. And, that's where the carp are going through, too.
They're going
through the locks.
How?
I've seen a few people say, well, there's not a problem in Kentucky Lake after seeing especially the FLW tournament, and all they see is 100 pounds won it.
Yeah.
And they don't see how bad it was behind that 100 pounds.
Wait a minute.
There are no.
Yeah.
Five years ago, the good fishermen were catching 100 bass a day.
Yep. Well,
it ain't happening anymore.
Well, I will tell you, there at the
ago.
FLW tournament where I was at, the top 10 fishermen on the final day, Sunday. Now, on a normal Kentucky lake here over years past, everybody caught a limit. Guess what?
Yeah.
The top 10 pros,
not
all of them caught a limit on the final day.
That's amazing.
Only 8 of them did. BASS tournament that was recently held there, out of 108 of the best bass fishermen in the world, only 8 of them caught a limit each day.
And that's
8.
I mean, and so
think about that.
I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking about the economic
and it's prime
impact.
Time.
Yeah, it's prime time, and I'm thinking about the economic impact of a place where thrives on the how things are going to Kentucky Lake.
However, having said all of that, on the positive side,
I need something.
The
positive.
fish, there are still plenty of fish to be caught.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of the bass that were not weighed in were because they were under the 14-inch size limit.
Okay. All right.
And 15-inch size limit.
Yeah.
The crappie, a ton of crappie were caught at a recent American Crappie Trail tournament.
Yeah.
I will tell you that 80% of the teams that were there caught a limit each day. All of them saying they caught anywhere from 30 to 70 crappie a day.
So you're saying
lots
the crappie,
of fish there.
The crappie, you can't say the bass is being affected more than the crappie. Then you're saying
it's
not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
I don't think.
No, that's not true.
The crappie will reach a legal size a little bit quicker than the bass.
Yeah, they will. Okay, I agree.
There were a lot of short fish caught. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
However, that's good.
We'll catch 20 9-inch crappie for about every keeper crappie that we catch nowadays.
Yeah, this weekend, the past weekend, there were a lot of crappie caught. So, folks, the thing is the lake is not dead. There's fish to be caught.
No, that's what we want to make.
There are fish to be caught, a lot of good crappie. And, oh, by the way, for those that love to catch a nice 1-pound shell cracker.
Oh, they're there. Yeah.
Let me tell you, they are catching them. It's nothing to catch 60, 80, 100 a day there. A lot of fun. Go out and do it. Yeah, fun stuff.
Do that, and all right, let's talk a little bit before we get out of this, and then down we can hook up with Steve McCadams. He's on the water. I know I'd like to hear from him. We're going to get Steve next week because I know he'll want to talk about the meeting, and we'll get a little more in depth from him, and we talk about next week's show. But fishing in general, Ron, you're everywhere. Let's. I know we've put the press, the Mid-South Hunting and Fishing magazine. Bill knows how to do that for June. And you had to do some fishing reports in there. What did you tell my listeners out there?
A couple of places. One of them is Sardis Lake.
Sardis Lake. All right.
The crappie are really, really on fire. A lot of crappie being caught, and it's pretty well however way you would like to catch them. You can use a Caps Coleman double minnow rig and spider rig. Yeah. You can vertical jig. Single pole vertical jig and catch them. You can throw crankbaits. It's whatever you would like to do. Plenty of crappie. The white bass are really strong right now. Up in the river, up around the Highway 7 bridge. You got plenty of water up there. Using a little Series 3 shad color Strike King crankbait, you can catch a bunch of white bass. The catfish are on fire. Any kind of riprap.
Any kind, yeah.
Any of the boat ramps areas has got a ton of catfish. I mean, some good blue and yellow channel catfish to be caught real easy. Cut shad, night crawlers, they're doing well. Some nice crappie are coming out of Arca Butler Lake, real close to Memphis right now. Single poling, a 3-inch Bobby Garland slab slayer lure.
Throw them out there, Ron. Go, man. Go, Rob. Throw those things out there. Let me tell you what Ron's on the road. So tell me today. Today is a Sardis. Tomorrow. What do you pick? What does Ron Wong think Sardis will take to win the St. Jude Bass Classic?
18 pounds.
That's pretty close. Yeah, I go with that too. That's
18 pounds, 17, 18 pounds.
Yep.
Because the water's so high right now.
Okay.
And a lot of the high water is good and a lot of the high water is not good. Those places where there's dead grass is not good.
Well, we don't need to tell them where to go find them. I just want to know how much you think is going to win because I know this weekend is a fisherman's nightmare because this is Memorial Weekend. Boaters will be everywhere.
I'm going to sit on my easy chair at the launch ramp and watch the parade.
Yeah, there you go. And then the poor Billy's got to go up there and dodge all of those boaters because
it will be brutal.
It will be brutal. Is a good word for that. Brutal is a good word.
I'll pick early and late.
Early and late because they don't show up early and late.
Just make sure you wear your PFD.
Yep, wear that life jacket. Let's take a break. Come right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and we hope. We got him. We got him? All right, this is a real coup here to get this guy on the show. We hope to talk to Drew Benton because if you need any money, he's got it right now. Be right back.